What's happening, everybody? Happy victorious Monday. The 49ers demolished the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday, and it feels good having a victorious Monday. I got Twin Empire backstage. We're going to bring him on. Before we do that, we're going to run the intro. I'll be back in 24 seconds.
You're dialed into the right place. And now your host, Ryan Hicks.
Man, the intro bumps so hard in these headphones. Telling you, man, you guys got to watch this intro with the headphones on. It makes the experience is just even better, man. I got some exciting stuff today. We're try to get this production level up a notch so we can be on the same level as these Niners, man. So without further delay, Mr. Twin Empire is going to be joining me so we can discuss how the 49ers demolished the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1. Is y'all ready? That's the question.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
our guy, Twin.
Hey, let's go, baby. I feel like I'm in the movie theater, baby.
Yeah, man. I had to step up the production quality, man, because, Niners stepped it up. I got to step it up too, man.
For sure, man. How you doing on this magnificent Monday, baby? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. The Niners, I'm pleasantly surprised by how the Niners started this thing off. I predicted early in the week, the Steelers going to win. Then Bosa signed, George Kittle was practicing, Ray came back. I'm like, let me switch this up. So on Wednesday, I predicted the Niners would win, but I thought it was going to be close. I didn't think it was going to be like this at all. What did you think?
Hey, man, I thought we came out there with the intensity. I said the score was going to be 28-14, I believe, 28-14 or something like that. I thought just us starting off slow, usually we'll come in there and we're playing away. I'm like, all right, maybe it'll take a quarter or two to kind of get the kinks out or something like that. But, man, listen here. Them dudes came out there playing with their hair on fire.
Ready to go. Ready to go, 100%. Let's say what's up to some of these guys in the chat, man. We got a lot of people tuning in, some of my favorite people. What's up? SF Bay Drummer says, hey, Ryan, what's up? Bebop Jones joins us from your channel, says, bang, bang, Niner gang. Todd said, what's going on? What's up, Todd? Chris 5 says, great win now. That's a Super Bowl team. I hope you're right, man. We're going to be talking about that more. And we're going to be talking about tomorrow. For those who don't know, I'm going to be after this show with Twin, I'm going to jump on with Grant, I think around 2. And then tomorrow night, we got that late night show, call-in show. So you guys can call in. It'll be about 8 p.m. with Sour Death Sam and B&A Music. Should be a good show, man. So you guys call in, especially those guys. Here's the thing, Twin. A lot of people don't like my tweets, don't like my takes for whatever reason. And I keep inviting them on the call-in show, but they don't show up.
Come on, man.
You got to show up.
Tell them, man, sit down and talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just sit down and talk about it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. It's one thing to come at me on Twitter, but it's another thing to just come have a dialogue. I welcome conflicting views, man. Just don't be out of pocket or too foul-mouthed, and we can have a conversation. So if you disagree with my takes, just come on the show and let me know why. Let's talk about it, man. But hey, I don't know. I think it's kind of the nature of those type of folks. Yazan Williams, though, is here. He says, what's good, Ryan? What about that W, man? Loving it. 187 says Purdy's a dog, and he was yesterday. Mitchell and Ness says clever intro. I appreciate it, man. Moon Man says, what's up? Good. What's good, G? Man, you guys are all tapped in, man. Really nice to see you. Melvin, my boy Melvin, who's a Cowboys fan, right? He's like one of my close friends I grew up with. He's a Cowboys fan, like your brother. But he likes, just NFL conversations. But I think we might want to pop him on with your brother when the Niners play the Cowboys. Speaking of the Cowboys, man, the Cowboys looked pretty damn good yesterday, man. That defense.
Hey, man. Woo, that defense was nasty. Daniel Jones was looking like he needed witness protection, boy. Hey, that defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys was firing everywhere. I'm talking about DNs, middle linebackers, the cornerbacks. Everybody was playing hardball. Even the guy cursed the safety came up there and smacked somebody. I mean, they was out there playing some good balls. So, hey, This is why we need to bring the other two guys, your boy Melvin, my brother, on, because those are our enemies. We need to get behind enemies, not lines, and see what they really think about us and what we actually think about them, because this is respectful, combat right here that we got going on.
Factual. Ashley Jankowski is here. What's up, Ashley? Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you being here as well. I love it when women join us, because it seems like there's a little too many men up in this chat sometimes, man. So thank you for joining us, Ashley. All right, man. Well, I think we went through it. Let me see. Jay Jackson says, Ryan, the problem is some fans are triggered if you say something negative about their favorite player. Example, Parson looked way better than Bosa yesterday. They didn't want to hear the truth. Yeah, some people, and that's fine. Like, some people just want to hear positive, right? They don't want to hear any of the negative. And I just don't operate that way. I try to be like inclusive of the whole picture. And like the 49ers, for example, Twin, man, they whooped the Steelers' ass yesterday. But I promise you, what they're doing right now is they're looking at the game and seeing areas they can improve. That's what all professional sports teams do in every sport, man. And it's something about the fan base. Some of them don't want to do that. And that's fine. There's places where you can go where you're not going to hear nothing but positive. But this ain't one of those places, man. You're going to hear the truth here.
Which, this ain't that right there. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. And look, that's the coach of you, though. Like, when you're a coach yourself, you're not just going to pull everything that was positive. Coaches are going to pull all the negative film out, and they're going to make sure that these guys know, hey, do not pay attention to what you hear out there. Do not read the tea leaves and think you're better than what you really are. You know what I mean? Yeah. And and I love that about the sport, because there's so much that you can really do. Kyle Shanahan wants to play the perfect game, or at least get to the closest as he can. And they're just going to go through analyzing everything, the nuances of the game. And even though yesterday was a beautifully played game, you want them to continuously get better and better and better and be peaking towards the end of the year. But so far, man, I love the way they went out there and played yesterday. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And I was a coach, not a professional level or anything, but even when we win, I'm watching the film like, okay, what can we do better? How can we do better? And that's all I'm going to do here on the Ryan G. Hensley Show. That's what Twin and I are just going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell you the good and bad. The good thing, though, is this week, way more good than bad, man. Way more good than bad. Why don't you give me your overall take of that game?
I think overall, Fred Warner early on in that first quarter, he set the tone. I think he knocked out, what's my guy name? Najee Harris, knocked him out the game.
Yeah.
And I think at that moment right then and there, I was like, oh, yeah, football is here. You know what I'm saying? We have arrived. The physicality of the 49ers travel. And also, I want to say this, big ups to all the 49er faithful that was out there in Pittsburgh. I was looking on my TV, man. I thought I saw a whole bunch of mustard and ketchup out there. You know what I'm saying? I said, good Lord, I thought we were playing in Pittsburgh. It was just bread everywhere, man. I just want to say, those of you fans who travel, man, I appreciate you guys. I know the players felt it. We felt it just watching on the TV screen, man. So, look, salute to all of you guys. But I just thought the defense went out there, man, to set the tone. And I also believe that Brock Purdy was efficient. He was methodical down the field as far as their offense. And overall, man, I just think they played a really good, clean, and efficient game.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of clean, was overall they did. The good news about this, though, and they had 11 penalties for 85 yards and still whipped their ass. So if you tighten that up, even more dangerous. The 49ers going to be even more dangerous moving forward. I mean, 11 penalties, 85 yards, that's a decent amount of penalties. And they still whipped their ass. So if you clean that up, that's 85 yards on, that's a big difference. The Steelers might not have even scored had they not had so many penalties, because on that one drive where they did score, I think there was 2 penalties in that drive at least.
Yeah,
assisted the Steelers. So that's an area of improvement for them. Let me read off some stats real quick. It's 30-7. It was 20-7 in the first quarter. Niners scored 7 in the third, 3 in the fourth, ended up 30-7. 22 first downs versus 15 for Pittsburgh. A lot of Pittsburgh's were at the end, kind of junkyard, junk downs when the 49ers were in prevent defense. 49ers were 6 out of 13 on third down conversions, which is pretty good. Fourth down, 1 for 1. Total plays 66-61 for Pittsburgh. 49ers had a total yards of 391. It says passing 203. I think that's because they get the sacks. The sack yardage comes off of that, but it was actually like 220 for Brock Purdy. He was sacked 3 times. Niners sacked the Steelers 5 times, which was good. Niners were 2-3 in the red zone. Steelers were 1-2. Again, penalties, 11 penalties for 85 yards. Steelers had 6 for 60. But here's like one of the big things. 49ers controlled the time of possession, 37 minutes and 23 seconds versus the Steelers, 22-37. How are they able to control the time of possession so much, Twin?
So if you look at the first half, I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't get a first down until the end of like the second quarter, towards the 2-minute warning. So they were going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And so when you got the defense turning that ball over, making them punt the ball, and you don't have the ability to actually get any rhythm going, that's where I believe we help the bulk of the possession when it comes to TOP. I think Kyle Shanahan always wants to have 30-plus minutes of time of possession. And so that defense not allowing that offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers to get rolling really help us just control the overall feel of the game. And I believe that's what truly led us to have the lead in time of possession.
Yeah, man. And you know what's crazy too? I let Vish tell me Kenny Pickett was something. I'm gonna talk to Vish next Friday. He's gonna be on every Friday from now on. So, but on Friday he was selling me Kenny Pickett. He's selling it to me in March. So I'm gonna talk to Vish because look, it's possible that Kenny Pickett on a different team or different offense would look better than he did yesterday. But Kenny Pickett didn't give me any reason to be excited about him moving forward. What do you think of Kenny Pickett?
Man, honestly, I thought Kenny Pickett got a little afraid of the live balls, man. Pause. I believe our defense was something that he wasn't necessarily looking forward to because even though you may get a feel in preseason, they're not scheming nothing up. You know what I'm saying? So these defensive coordinators play a lot of vanilla defense. But I believe when you got Fred Warner and he's playing like with his hair on fire, you have Drake Greenlaw playing with his hair on fire. You got like Hufanga hitting people. It's a different like feel. Like you can feel the intensity. These games counts. And so I just think overall, just the tenacity of the 49 defense where he look and he see Nick Bosa. He look over here, he see Armstead. He look over here, he see Hargrave. He look like everywhere he see a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think after they started touching him a little bit, I think he was shook after that. He was like, God, dog. And I tell you, that first hit, when he saw his boy Najee Harris get laid out, he said, oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, he looked nervous, man. Like, he did look nervous. He was just throwing it up there, trying to get the ball out of his hands so he didn't take the hits. I noticed it. I didn't see a lot to be confident in Kenny Pickett moving forward. I thought he may have been right there with Brock, maybe a little better because of his arm talent, but Brock was way more confident, way more comfortable than Kenny Pickett looked. Real quick, man, look, I think we need to address these things. Eric Shun's talking about what did Trey do this week? Bro, who is talking about that? You know what? When people start making comments like this is what I'm going to say.
Oh, my God, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Get out of here with that, man. We're not talking about Trey anymore, man. We are focusing on the 49ers and the players on the 49ers. So, it's weird. Everyone's like, oh, all you talk about is Trey, man. You guys are the ones talking about Trey. I'm not bringing him up. Let's talk about the quarterbacks on the 49ers, man. Let's go by position group. Let's start with quarterback, man. How do you think Brock did? What kind of grade would you give Brock?
I'll give Brock a B+. I thought he did very well yesterday. A couple times I didn't like him taking some of those hits. I thought some of them hits I don't want him taking this early. But besides then, I thought he got the ball out of time. I love the way that he attacked Patrick Peterson with Brandon Ayuk, just seeing the one-on-one and just say, hey, Brandon, Imano versus Imano. I think you're the better player. I think you're the better athlete right now. Show up and show out. And I love that he tested those guys early on in the game. And so I like that about him. I like that he did spread the ball around a little bit too. Even though Debo was kind of missing a little bit, I just like that he got the offense in and out. There was one point I didn't like where we was coming out of a TV timeout, and then we had to take another timeout as far as just, getting that play call in and getting everybody set, ready to go out there and execute the play that was called. But besides that, I thought Brock did a very good job.
Yeah, man, I think I would get that grade is probably fair. B plus, maybe A minus. I might even venture into the two
Mhm.
things that maybe like somebody said he almost threw an interception. I didn't really see that. I saw a pass broken up, but I don't. I mean, maybe I'm tripping. I gotta watch it back. Maybe I didn't. I haven't had a chance to watch it a second time. Did he almost throw an interception? Because I noticed a couple people said that.
He did, but I mean, again, like it was an interceptable ball, but they didn't get it. I mean, it wasn't a whole bunch of them out there, so I'm not gonna harp on them a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It happens. Game one, so it's not necessarily a really big deal, especially that he executed the offense route where he didn't have a turnover or he did have a fumble. So I mean, so that's where the B minus come in, like stuff like that, where it wasn't a perfectly clean game, but at the same time, I did think he played very good and very efficient.
yeah. I didn't see it. I swear, I did not see it. I don't notice it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I might have been like, on a bathroom break or something. I don't know what it was, but I don't remember. I got to go back and watch it. Brock Purdy was 19 for 29, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, sacked 3 times. But I think most of those yards actually came in the first half. I think he had like 180 yards or something close like that in the first half of the game. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, Brock is cooking, man. And they kind of, took off the gas pedal a little bit because they had the game in hand and they kind of just wanted to run out the clock, basically. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I thought Brock did good. He, someone brought up the 2 fumbles. One was 2 fumbles. Did he recover both those fumbles? He did, right?
I
Or
think
did he
covered
turn one over?
covered one and lost one. I think I
Lost one.
could
That's
be
right.
wrong.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. I'm trying
so.
to remember. I don't know why it's all
But
blur right now. But go ahead.
the one behind the back, I know he recovered that one.
Yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
let me go double check to make sure.
You got the butt fumble from Mark Sanchez, and you got the fumble recovery from Brock Purdy. The butt fumble recovery from Brock Purdy. But overall, man, I thought Brock played good. The 2 fumbles don't bother me that much. I know it bothers some people, and I get it. You gotta protect the ball, but those were strip fumbles. It's not like he just lost the ball or just was tackled to the ground. I mean, when you got T.J. Watt slapping down on the ball from behind, it's gonna be tough, man. I mean, so overall, I thought Brock did good. That one pass to Ayuk was perfect. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, people for some reason thought that Brock's performance yesterday means that Ryan was wrong. I don't understand what you think I was wrong about. That's what I don't understand. Like, his arm strength is his arm strength. I was right about it. The biggest criticisms I give Brock Purdy was arm strength, stepping up in the pocket, and his size. Right, his size ain't gonna change. His arm strength is not gonna change. His arm strength isn't better than I thought. It's the same as I thought. Right. And stepping up the pocket, I think he had an opportunity to step up in the pocket on at least one of those sacks. And so he can still work on that. But it did feel like he was staying in the pocket longer than he did last year. Like last year, he was bailing out quicker. So I think he improved there. But that pass to Ayuk, man, was there zip on that ball? Was it thrown hard? No, not at all. But what's so good about Brock, though, is like he gets it out quickly and he times it and it was accurate. So, your arm strength doesn't have to be just crazy elite if you have those other things making up for it. It's like hoop, right? Like we all play hoop. I'm not the fastest guy on the hoop court, if I'm being honest. But I know the game. I know how my body, and so it makes up for it. Brock Purdy, he doesn't have really good arm strength at all. It's below average, honestly, if we're being real about it. But he makes up for it because he understands the game. He gets the ball out quick, and he's accurate with it for the most part. That pass to Ayuk was great, man. All his passes were under 20 yards. He didn't complete anything past that. So, no, was I wrong about Brock Purdy's arm strength? No, not at all. I still feel the same way. What I might have been wrong about, though, Twin, is that it may not be as important as I thought it would, at least against teams like 90% of the teams in the NFL. I think Brock, the way he runs this offense is perfect for Kyle Shanahan's system. He runs Kyle's system perfectly. And so I don't think the arm strength is going to be an issue 99% of the time. There might be some games where you wish he did have some more superior arm strength, could go deeper. And that's probably going to be in the playoffs in the Super Bowl, but we'll see. I want to get your opinion, though, real quick. Do you think Purdy, with this offense, with this team, is good enough to win the Super Bowl?
Yes. But I also think, like, give me after week 6, 7, and 8, I know that he has the physical tools. We have all the weapons surrounding us. I think only time this arm strength would probably begin to become an issue is if we get some injuries with our skilled players, where the defense is able to manipulate some of the coverages now. You see what I'm saying? And then they can attack him in certain ways. So then he has to do a little bit more with his arm. But while we still have the whole bandit of guys around him, I think he's cool. So first thing first, you got to keep these guys healthy. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. You don't want multiple guys at these skilled positions getting hurt. You see what I'm saying? You want all these guys to stay upright. When they are, if somebody does get hurt, that when you may see some of the deficiencies in his arm talent. But until then, I think right now, like you said, there's more than enough on the field for him to go out there and do what he's doing. Kyle Shanahan, he's cooking up that good blue magic out there. So there's nothing to really worry about so far.
Yeah, 187 here says, you said Trey was better than Purdy. No, sir. What I said was that Trey Lance had a higher potential, a higher ceiling than Brock Purdy. And if he was given the time to play, I think he would be better. And guess what? I still feel that way. So,
bro, how can I still, again, 187, man, you my guy. Like, we done left it alone. We're trying to move forward, onward and forward. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, when people do this here, it makes you don't want to sit here and nitpick Brock Purdy. We just come off a win. You want to continue to give Brock Purdy his love, his adulation, but just let us do that, all right? Because if something ever were to happen, then y'all gonna be want to hide again. You know what I'm saying? Look, we just want to keep it positive, and everybody want to say we try to bring in Trey, like you said, man. We trying to let that go. We trying to move forward. Yeah. The season to start, we got the W, but y'all, hey, they asking for the smoke, man.
Trey Lance is a Cowboy, man, and like unless you want to talk about Cowboys right now, we can just talk about the 49ers. So let's talk about the 49ers. We talked about quarterback position grade. Let's talk about the halfback, man, the running backs. Christian McCaffrey, man, 22 carries, 152 yards, a touchdown, long of 65. He was also targeted 5 times, caught 3 of them for 17 yards. Talk to me about Christian McCaffrey, man.
Man, look. Pick up for Christian to run very, very hard. He has this running style where he looks like he's kind of moving slow, and then he'll hit you with that burst. And I just kind of like the way that he ran yesterday. I didn't like the way in the second half that he continued to get the ball. I thought you kind of can, sit him down so he won't get as many snaps, as many hits on him, on his body this year. But I thought he was really an equalizer for that offense. He garnered a lot of attention. He had that gravity. Early on in the game, when T.J. Watt was kind of bringing in that pressure, he was the perfect relief valve to dump it off to kind of get some positive yards, keep the chains going forward. And overall, man, he just an Iron Man. He goes out there, and just the intensity that he plays with, I believe it's also it's galvanizing. He has a certain aura about himself, like this quiet confidence that if you're on the field, you kind of begin to understand that this guy is a special player, and we are so blessed, to have such a guy like that in the backfield. I mean, again, any quarterback in this offense with all of these weapons, man, would be extremely happy. I don't think we understand the abundance of riches that we have in all of these skilled positions, especially coming off into a first beginning of the season, having this guy all through training camp, all through OTAs and stuff like that, man. Look, man, that dude is, he a problem. You know what I'm saying? You're a real problem.
Yeah, man, CMC is ridiculous. The 49ers are responsible for one of the worst trades in 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch are responsible for one of the worst trades in 49ers history, but they're also responsible for one of the best with CMC. That was a huge pickup for the 49ers. It changed the whole offense. Christian McCaffrey is a Hall of Famer caliber running back, man. He just changes the whole game. What I like, too, is on at least one play, maybe more, they had Debo in the backfield and they put CMC out as receiver. I love how they're interchangeable like that.
Even though they are, Debo didn't get that orbit run play. They didn't get too much off of it yesterday.
Yeah.
I think teams are starting to kind of get a handle on it. I mean, I know you can run that play in different formations, different sets, but I think they are beginning to learn their keys when it comes to what Debo Samuels does out the backfield.
Yeah,
and he got some good licks on him, as far as like when he ran that ball, they They hit him up pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
What it seems like to me, and maybe I'm tripping, but I got to go like look at the stats and the facts on this. But it seems like whenever Debo is in the backfield, they hand off the ball to Debo. Like maybe put him in the backfield, but don't hand off to him, right? Like just you put him back there as a decoy or something, because it seems like every time he's back there, they're handing off to him. And you know, and Debo got a couple rushes too, with 2 for 8 yards, 4 yards a carry, not bad. Purdy ran 3 for 20 yards. Elijah Mitchell got 5 for 10, not great. But overall, man, why does it say? It says Sam Darnold has 2 carries minus 2 yards. What did Sam Darnold play yesterday?
Bro, you know how to take a knee, man. Go out there, victory position.
Did he do that? Is that what he did? I didn't even pay attention at the end. Maybe that's what's going on.
You go out there, kneel down, man. Hey, Sam, go out there.
Just kneel it down.
And kneel it down, baby.
All right. So overall, man, what you get Christian McCaffrey, man? I give him an A+.
Christian does get a A+, man. I think he did. I mean, you got 22 carries, 152 yards, 6.9 yards per average, 1 touchdown, 65 long. I said give him an A-. If he would have had 2 touchdowns, I might bump the grade up because I'm a touchdown fiend. But 1 touchdown with all them yards, man, hey, you get an A-, man. You know, I'm gonna grade him a little hard.
All right, fair enough, man. I give him an A+. Twin gives him an A-, averages out to an A+ or A grade for the 49ers running backs, man. Let's talk receivers now. My favorite 49er on the 49ers offense is Brandon Ayuk, I think.
Yes, sir.
And
Ayuk.
That man went 8 received. He was targeted 8 times, caught all 8, went for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16.125 yards per catch, man. Talk about Brandon Ayuk for me.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, can't forget in a broken ankle, in a mouse. You got to add those 2 in there. He got a broken ankle in the end zone, and he got a Randy Moss touchdown in the end zone, man.
Yeah.
I thought Brandon Ayuk was slippery out there, man. I believe he was running those great routes. I mean, whatever you wanted your wide receiver to do, he went out there and did it. And he did it at a very high level. I just love the way you can see his confidence just oozing off him. Like he believes nobody can touch, nobody can guard me. And with a quarterback like Brock Purdy, to see a person who has that type of mentality, knowing that whenever I may be in trouble, and if I got to look down the field or look in a certain quadrant, I know that this guy going to be open. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what he was yesterday. I thought he just played a magnificent game, no drops at all. And then, even though you said all those stats, you got to put the pan in a pancake. He got a broken ankle, a mouse in a pancake. Because when Christian McCaffrey had this 65-yard run, hey, Brandon Ayuk just he ran over, you know what I'm saying, the cornerback as well, which let Christian go all the way down the field. So, man, I just want to give BA all the props, man, because he's balling. My fellow Dreadhead, I see you, my guy. Let's go.
Yeah, BA's been my favorite receiver on this team for 3 years. Like I 2 or 3 years ago, I was telling him everyone he's the wide receiver 1 on his team. People are like, no, you tripping, dude. Debo's number 1. I'm like, all right, man, you're gonna see. I predicted his breakout last year. Like I've been a big BA fan, man. Honestly, he should be a captain by the way he works. But it is what it is. Players vote for who they want to. And you brought up Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson before the game said he's gonna pick. He said the 49ers got tails in their offense, and I'm gonna get a pick 6. He predicted he was gonna get an interception. BA shook that man like crazy. And then Brock Purdy, man, this is Brock after the game. Brock commented on it, and he was talking about like, oh, wasn't that touchdown on the right side? Wasn't that on Patrick Peterson, man? I loved it, man. Yeah.
Look. Hey, what Drake said, look, back to back, he double back, you know what I'm saying? He hit him with that Drake double.
Yeah, man. BA is phenomenal, man. He's top 10 receiver in the NFL. I don't care what nobody says, man. And then Debo, man. Debo did all right too, man. He had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 55 yards, 11 per. He did all right, man. But he's definitely, let's see. If you take CMC, Brandon Ayuk, then you got probably Debo as your third option now, and then Kittle. And I'm sure that'll change from week to week. But if I'm targeting people, it's going to be BA first. And BA got the most targets, man. And, he played really, really well. So, overall, the wide receivers, what grade are you giving them?
Again, I'll give BA. BA going to get an A+ today. I thought he did everything excellent. He's going to be the first person I give an A+. I thought he get A plus. Debo, I give him B minus. Kittle, I give Kittle a B minus too. The other, Juwan Jennings and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they did cool, whatnot. But just for the top 4 guys, Brandon Ayuk is the top dog. Debo did cool. I just like to see. I don't think we're going to give enough passing attempts for both guys to kind of have a really, really big day unless we're playing against a better opponent and we actually got to pass the ball down the field more often or be in a shootout per se. But so far, man, that's what I give him for today.
All right, I think I'm gonna give him A minus, B plus, A minus, somewhere in that range.
For the whole group?
For the whole group, just because BA kind of carried the group.
Yeah.
I would say Juwan Jennings, man, he only had one target, dropped it. That Juwan Jennings was an absentee yesterday, but I guess you don't need him. I mean, you got plenty of guys. Ayuk was targeted 8 times, caught all 8. Debo was targeted 7 times, caught 5. Kittle was targeted 6, only caught 3. McCaffrey was targeted 5, caught 3. That's the overall receptions. Mitchell and Juwan Jennings were both targeted, did not catch the ball. But I would give him like a B plus, A minus. I give Ayuk an A plus.
Yeah.
The other guys were like,
Yeah.
I said
Debo was good, but he didn't do nothing that you was like, ooh. He was like, all right, it's Debo. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'd say before we move off of these guys, I would hope that no matter what throughout this whole season, Brandon Ayuk should get no less than 8 targets a game. No less.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think BA might get 1,500 yards this year. He really might. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, man. Well, we talk wide receivers. We talk tight ends. Do we talk tight ends? Well, tight ends, let's just give Kittle. He didn't really do much. They blocked.
Yeah.
Target. I mean, I'll give him like a B minus, something like that. Like he really didn't do anything.
Oh, no. Man, it should have had him over there with the Kivitz more often though.
Yeah, let's talk about the offensive line. That's what we need to talk about. All right, so Trent Williams was Trent Williams. Nothing to talk about. A great.
He did have a penalty.
Yeah, I mean,
he did get hurt.
Yeah, he did. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him.
I don't like that though, man. It's too early in the season for him. Hey, guy.
Yeah. Let's talk Banks. Banks did really well. I love what I saw from Banks, especially in the run blocking. Brindell, I thought did really good, especially in the run blocking. Now let's go to Burford. Burford, man, 2 penalties, I think, right? Or did he get 3? Was it 2?
Was that on the same 2 on the same drive, I believe, though. Yeah, 2 on the same drive. And maybe one afterwards.
I mean, he was all right. It's just you got to knock those penalties out, man. Penalties are costly, and as an offensive lineman, you don't want to be talked about at all. And the fact that we're talking about your penalties, look, penalties happen. People aren't perfect. Mistakes are going to happen, but this can't be something that continues on throughout the season. He's got to knock these penalties out.
I'll tell you this. I looked at these grades, right? Spencer Burford was a 28 in the PFF with 68 snaps. And Colton McKivitz was a 45 with 68 snaps as well. So I know PFF don't tell the whole truth of the matter, but just for this game, they play like crap.
Man, BNA is over. BNA says McKivitz or Pinky. Who has more ass?
Hold on, man. Are we talking 2003 Pinky or are we talking about now Pinky?
It's crazy.
Talking like prime Pinky when she was in her prime, or are we talking like retired Pinky?
Man, let's talk McKivitz, man. What did you see from McKivitz? How are you feeling about him?
He needs some milk. You know what I'm saying, my bro? Yeah. Hey, he just needs some help, man. Overall, I think he did. You playing against an elite pass rusher, TJ Watt. I think we all knew how good TJ Watt was, but for him to get off some of those moves where it wasn't spectacular, he didn't have to do anything that was like, oh my God, look what he did to McKivitz to get to the quarterback. It was just pretty much like, hey man, I'm better than you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do nothing pretty. I'm just gonna bull rush you around the corner.
Yeah, and
get to the quarterback, man. Just get to the edge. So like, I don't know what we need to do, but I did not like the clean hits he was getting on Purdy early on in the game. I know Purdy was upright. He was healthy afterwards. Well, we hope he was, but for me and my liking, I didn't like that he was getting hit like that so early and often in a game of this magnitude, man, because we want him to be here for a long time. And so I need Cal to call the protection a little bit different, or Purdy got to get that ball out quicker so he don't have to worry about getting hit the way that he was getting hit.
Yeah, I mean, so I think first half, McKivitz, I was actually surprised. I was tweeting out, hey, McKivitz holding up. He's doing his thing. And I was like supporting him. The second half, that kind of changed. Now, TJ Watt is definitely a different beast. But on one of those sacks, man, he just ran straight by him. He didn't have to bend or anything. He just ran straight by him. Now, Purdy, on that is the one I'm talking about, where he could help McKivitz a little bit by stepping up. But really, Kyle Shanahan, and I'm going to hold Brock Purdy to this now. He's not a rookie anymore. So Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, they together have to have a responsibility of protection. You can't leave on for sure passing downs, especially against elite pass rushers like TJ Watts. You cannot leave Colton McKivitz on an island. I hope they learn that lesson from this game. Colton McKivitz cannot be left on an island on for sure passing downs against elite pass rushers. That just cannot happen. So Kyle Shanahan has to. This is one of the negatives. Kyle Shanahan has to make sure that Colton McKivitz has help in those situations, whether it's a tight end or it's juice check or somebody else has to help on pass protection on those downs. Because Colton McKivitz, man, he's Colton McKivitz. He is not an elite pass blocker. He's just not.
You get what you pay for, and everybody know that. That side, you're going to get most of your prominent pass rusher over there coming out and going against your right tackle. Rest assured, I know Colton McKivitz is getting like his butt chewed out because he's like, hey man, a couple of them passes, he almost saw that he almost hit Brock Purdy's arm, like right when he was releasing. You like, oh God, please, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you held your breath, but I know I did. I was like, oh God, man, it's too early in the season. Don't get clean hits like that. But hopefully, man. Well, this is the thing about this. We got a lot of guys who's going to be good pass rushers this year.
Yeah.
And early on in the year, we need to make sure we sure that up quickly so that we don't have to worry about this guy getting hurt. You know what I mean? Because
what's going to happen when we play the Cowboys and you got Micah Parsons coming after Brock Purdy? Like,
before you got to play, then you got to play against Myles Garrett, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well,
no, that's after, right? Myles Garrett he's on Cleveland, right? That's after, right?
Cleveland? I thought it was before.
Yeah, that's later on in the season. They got to play. He's got to play the Cowboys week 5. Man. The Cleveland's later on in the season. So, I mean, he's going to face a lot of these type of pass rushers, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got to definitely do something about that.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair though, too, like 49ers, like Colton McKivitz might not be an upgrade over Mike McGlinchey, but Mike McGlinchey got his ass whooped yesterday by Max Crosby on the Raiders. He looked like Mike McGlinchey, peak Mike McGlinchey yesterday, man. And the Broncos paid him like 5 years, $85 million to get his ass whooped, looking like Colton McKivitz yesterday against Max Crosby. So the 49ers, hey, they may have not improved at right tackle, and they should have, as I was screaming all offseason, but at least they didn't pay Mike McGlinchey $85 million to get his ass kicked. Right? You can do that with Colton McKivitz for a couple mil.
Yeah, for a lot cheaper, man. So I'm surprised Kyle didn't do a lot of screen passes to that rush side. Like, he didn't do that many yesterday to just kind of slow down TJ Watt. And another thing about TJ Watt, he's one of those guys who don't just want to get a sack. He likes to do the strip sacks too as well. So understanding your defensive opponent and how he likes to play, what type of player he is. So, but again, you're right. We don't have to play against them, Myles Garrett, until after the Cowboys. So we do have back-to-back weeks with Michael Parsons and then Myles Garrett. But we'll worry about that when we get there.
But don't like the Giants. They got a pass rusher. I mean, they look like shit yesterday. If I'm being like, excuse my French, but they got a nice pass rusher on the Giants too, man. For the rest of their team looks like complete ass, but they do got a pass rusher. You got to be concerned. I can't think of his name. Was it Thibodeau?
Yeah, but I say the rookie from last year, Thibodeau. He's a really
Thibodeau.
Yeah, K1 Thibodeau, and you got Dexter Lawrence. He's I think he's a big money D tackle, man. He's a really good guy. And so I mean, hopefully they don't get in a good rhythm after they play against us. But last year they did have a better pressure. Like they brought on better pressure last year.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I don't know, was it just Dak played bad or it was the rain? But they didn't look too good yesterday.
Yeah, man, the right side of the offensive line is the weak part of the 49ers team right now. And we'll see how it plays out, man. But look, Kyle Shanahan's got to address it with protection and scheme. Like, he can't just let them just leave them out there and like protect Brock. And if you don't, we're screwed. Like, you can't have them mentality because Brock goes down, this season's over, in my opinion. So Kyle's got to figure that part out, especially when we play these better teams. But what grade would you give the offensive line?
Let's see.
Yeah. That sounds about right. For the run blocking was great. Run blocking was good. Trent and Banks solid. Brendel had a really nice block. But that right side, Burford and McKivitz, that brings it all the way down. So I think C is a fair grade for them.
Yeah, good C.
Yeah.
And I love to see what they can. Like I said, we might be a better. I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see. I don't want to dog Colton too bad, but eventually I gotta see. Hey, Colton, you gotta step it up. But I'll see what happens in the next game.
Yeah, we'll see next game. Yeah, Aaron Donald, right? Next game.
Exactly. Yeah. And did you hear? Look, tell you, Aaron Donald had Geno Smith out there begging for his life.
Yeah, that was surprising, man. I think I'll save some of the Rams talk for later on in the week as we get closer to it, but. Yeah, that was a surprise, man. Seahawks did not look like we expected. Rams looked better than we expected. So it's going to be interesting, man. That's the thing about the NFL. You think you know what's going to happen going into the season, but once the season starts, there's always a couple teams that are better than you expected, always a couple teams that aren't as good as you expected. So we'll see how it plays out. But let's keep it pushing. We're on the defensive side of the ball now. Let's start with the DBs, man. What kind of grade? Let's talk about the DBs and what kind of grade you would give them.
Man, hey. Look, I'm calling them the sheriff department. They had all these boys on lock over there, boy.
Yeah, they sure did.
Look,
yeah.
Shavarius Ward, Mooney, man. What up, Mooney Ward? He had look.
He locked him down.
He got the pick. Look, he got the pick on Pickens. Mm-hmm. He was locking them down. Diamador Lenore, I think he led the team in tackles yesterday. And it wasn't like they was out there running the ball a lot, but he was just sticking his nose in the inside and getting some tackles. So pick up to Diamador Lenore. I mean, I thought the cornerbacks played really, really well. Man, the linebackers was hunting.
Well, hold on, linebackers. Hold on, linebackers.
Yeah, my bad.
So,
Go,
I want to get your grade. What's your grade? What's your grade for the DBs?
Yep. Man, I mean, let's see what they had. Them boys didn't have them, but I say I give them an 8.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give them an 8 too. A- sounds fair. Diamador Lenore actually led the team in tackles, man. He had 2 penalties that were costly at the wrong time, which allowed them to score. So he's got to clean that up. Sure. But he led the team. He had 10 total tackles, 8 solo. So it's actually a good performance from him at nickel. I think he's still figuring out that position. He hasn't done that much in the NFL. I think this was his first game in the NFL at nickel. What's weird is Ambry Thomas actually started at the other side, and we didn't hear his name much, man. So shout out to Ambry Thomas, man. He looked promising his rookie year, looked bad last year, but he fought his way back through training camp, did good. Charvarius obviously got that pick. And then if we're talking about the safeties, Gibson and Huff, man, phenomenal. Huff and Charvarius Worth both got an interception. I agree with you, man. I think it's an A- performance from the DBs yesterday.
Yeah, and also with Ambry Thomas, everybody knew his measurements coming out of Michigan was like top tier. It's just that he couldn't necessarily get acclimated to the NFL speed just yet. We had a little glimpse at the end of that year, his rookie year, where he did play very well. But I think something happened to him mentally where he kind of just got thrown off. I mean, everybody look at the physical aspects of playing football, but I believe also just the mental part of what he had to do every day, how long the season was, being a profession, having all this free time, having some deeper pockets as well. I think a lot of things behind the scenes may have been getting to him, which made his game kind of lethargic as far as how quick he was going to catch up. But I think this year, this offseason, he must have got a lot better. Big up to Steve Wilkes. I'm not going to jump the gun too early, but I'm assuming he did something that was quite good for the young fella to be able to go out there and trust him to be on the other side of Charvarius Ward.
Yeah, man, D's plays good. I love the interception. So Warren, we'll go talk about linebackers in a second, but Warner tipped that ball that Huff intercepted. Huff took it to the house, and then what I loved is he tried to pitch it to Gibson. It was just a little forward though, so it didn't count. But Gibson took it. Gibson actually had an opportunity to either pitch it or fake pitch it to I don't know who was running next to him. That would have been nice, but unfortunately, it wasn't for a pass. But that was exciting, man. I love it. I don't know why more people don't do that. I know it's a little risky to pitch the ball, but man, like it could have been 6. But yeah, man, DBs overall, I'm super happy with. Let's talk about linebackers, man. How you feeling about the linebackers?
They get an 8, man. Look, listen here. They brought the energy. I know everybody gonna talk about Fred Warner, which respectfully he deserves that. But I just love like Greenlaw coverage skills, like him covering out the backfield. I mean, he going to cover the guys like in the flats, covering the tight ends. I thought you saw his speed. Like his speed was on full display yesterday, and alongside with Fred Warner, their speed is ridiculous. And not only is one thing to have speed, but it's nothing to be anticipatory. And so when you put the ability to anticipate and read and react along with your natural ability, you get the best linebacking duo in the National Football League. And there's not even an argument, and there's nobody even close. So I just love what them guys was doing. Fred has that's his new thing to do now is lunge, like to lunge, you know what I mean, when he's tackling. And I just love just the intensity that he's bringing along with Greenlaw. I just pray they just stay healthy, man, and continue to just be tackling machines out
there. Yeah. Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw, man, they just are the best duo in the NFL. I got to give them, I got to give those guys. I about y'all yesterday. I'm here to say y'all dominated. We'll meet up again. I you for being a big man, coming in here and admitting it, but I don't think we're gonna see you guys again this year. Y'all done.
Yeah, then we'll see you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we ain't seeing you in the Super Bowl, man. Sorry, C Brown, man. But Kenny Pickett is not taking y'all to the bowl, so maybe we'll see you next year. How about that? But I appreciate you dropping by and giving us. So yeah, overall we get the linebackers an A. Let's talk about the D line, man, because the D line was pleasantly surprising, man. So let's first of all, Armstead and Hargrave in the middle is it. That's it, man. That's what we needed. That interior pass rush was just the difference yesterday. I mean, they had Drake Jackson got 3 sacks off of it. Part of it is Drake Jackson is a hell of an athlete and he's good, but a lot of it was just that pressure up the middle, man. What did you see yesterday from the D line, and what grade you gonna give them?
I'll say this, and a lot of it came from the cornerbacks too. The cornerbacks were sticky early on after the hiking of the ball, and so a lot of you seen Kenny Pickett back there with 4 to 5 seconds, and he had nowhere to go. And eventually, as they like to say, cover sacks and pushing up the middle where he's trying to spin out, and then here comes Drake Jackson coming. I think a couple of times I saw the push from Javon Hargrave go in there, man, really got up in that man's face, really pushed the pocket back again. I really like that them guys was doing it with only going with 4, like only bringing 4. They did it majority of the game. They just said, hey, you 4, go out there and attack, go eat. And I love seeing that. And I think as they get more cohesive with Nick Bosa, because he wasn't necessarily there, maybe they can do a little more creative stunts and things of that nature to kind of get more of a flow. And I would love to see that. And also, I'm going to say this. Javon Kinlaw. Javon, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Javon got some push too, you know what I'm saying? So when he does bad, we call him out to the carpet. But I will say this. I saw him push the pile on several times. Even the sack that Javon Hargrave got, they did a double stunt, and he was able to get in there to kind of help out. And so big up to Javon too, man. I see you, 99. Keep doing your thing, big boy. We're going to need you. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah, great to see Kinlaw. I thought he played good yesterday when he was in. He actually pushed the interior too. I like this interior pass rush. We're not used to it. It's always coming off the edges for the 49ers. At least since we traded Buckner. Now we got that interior pass rush back, man. It's exciting. Kinlaw did good. Armstead was causing problems for people. And then obviously Hargrave. And the thing that's scary for teams that are going to be playing us is Nick Bosa wasn't even Nick Bosa yesterday. He didn't play as much as he usually would, and he didn't look like himself yesterday. He's still got to get back into that football shape, ready to go. and he will. Obviously, I'm not concerned about it. So wait till Bosa starts getting in peak game condition and starts playing like Bosa again. Then you got Drake Jackson, who's been phenomenal. I actually thought Clelin Ferrell played well as well. So
he really did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried about the 49ers D line for depth for some reason. And I told people, look, I'm gonna give myself. Let me. What should I gotta do? Let me do this.
On the back.
I gotta do this one because the reason is I told everyone, like, the reason why they're not going after like all these edge rushers is because they believe in Drake Jackson. I told everybody, go check my Twitter feed. If Drake Jackson lives in the weight room, he's gonna be a difference maker. He's gonna make that Hufanga size leap. That's what I call it now. When you see flashes from a rookie into their sophomore year and they take off like Hufanga did, I predicted Drake Jackson was going to be that guy this year for the 49ers, and he was, man. Shout out to me.
And I'll say this too. We look at the PFF grade. Even though Bosa didn't have a sack, he led the defense with an 85. Colin Farrell had an 84. Kevin Givens came in there, gave you 20 snaps, but he was at an 83. Devon Hargrave had an 83 with 42 snaps. And even though Drake Jackson only had 28 snaps, that's it. He only played 28. I think Colin Farrell got the bulk of his snaps, but he had three sacks, and it was at an 82. And for some reason, this gonna sound bad, right? You know who was one of the worst people with the PFL grades? Fred Warner, man.
That's great. Yeah, that's why I don't really pay attention to that shit, man.
They gave him 58, so I was like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta take it with a grain of salt, you know. So
yeah, man. The PFF. I'm more of a like watch the film kind of guy, you know. Like, and it's hard though. I mean, PFF is a good guideline, but overall, yeah, I don't mess around with this one. Jay, man, I gotta. What, bro? He said. This is what the man said. He said, "Can Darnold do what Purdy did?" No, Jay. You know better than that, man. If Brock Purdy goes down, I'm concerned about the season. To me, now maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe Darnold put me wrong, but in my opinion, absolutely not. So no, Jay. We're not trying to find out. And you're better than that, Jay. You're better than that. Anyway, I'm just messing with you. All right. So let's talk special teams, man. Here's a big surprise for me. I was really concerned about Jake Moody.
Yeah.
Man's never missed a kick in the NFL. Perfect record. I think it's 3 for 3 yesterday, right? Something like that. Sure. I mean, that is huge because I was concerned, man. Like, I was really, really concerned about Moody based on the preseason. But yesterday gave me life because I don't have to worry about – I'm not worried about Moody anymore, man. What do you think about Jake Moody?
I mean, Jake had 1 for 37 yards. The other one was – a 29-yarder, and there's one more he had. One more field goal, 25. So, I mean, nothing was real long, but he was efficient down the middle. He looked confident out there, man. So, hey, Moody, keep up the good work. You're trending upwards, and keep showing us why they picked you in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? So, I have nothing to say about him at all. Good job. You didn't miss nothing. And also, Mr. What's the kicker name?
Wisnowski, Mitch.
Hey, he was kicking that joker, boy. He even had the commentators like, the dudes doing the commentary, like, man, he has such a weird ball, but somehow once it hit that ground, it just shoots out of bounds. You know what I mean? And so big up for him because that helps our defense when you put them in bad positions like that. So I thought our special teams, as far as the kicking game, the punting game, did well. Return game was so, but it was good to have Ray McCloud back there. I'm glad he's healthy, and I think he's going to bust one open this year.
Yeah, man. Let me pay some bills real quick. We're going to come back and wrap this up. We got some good things to do, so give me 1 second.
What's going on, guys? This is Ryan Hensley, man. Just wanted to remind you that I am a real estate broker and mortgage lender in the state of California. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home anytime soon, please reach out. If you go to the details in the description, you can schedule an appointment with me by clicking on the link. I would love to help you and your family. Please reach out. What's going on, guys? Not only am I a real estate and mortgage broker, but I also have a solar business. I can connect solar on your business or home in up to 31 states. If you need solar, please reach out. All you got to do is email me your most recent power bill to ryan@ryanghensley.com. My partner Tony and I will get back to you with an estimate right away. Again, I appreciate all your support. You guys are the best. Now back to the show.
All right, 2020. I had to do it. I had to do it. Save myself some breath and I can focus on the show. I just hit that button and it takes care of it for you, man.
Hey, I love it, man. That's dope. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, right on, man. Hey, so I want to give a shout out to Kyle Shanahan, man. I was scared that he was going to start slow like he normally does. Not this year. Not this year. One thing I said was that I think the offense can carry over from last year and be just as good as it was at the end of the season last year. I was right about that. I was concerned about Steve Wilks, being able to run this defense efficiently from the get. I thought it would take some time. I was wrong about that. Both Wilks and Kyle Shanahan dialed up a really good game yesterday. Special teams coach was on their shit. They just look good, man. They started fast, and that was a big concern for me, man. What do you think about Kyle Shanahan, the job he did getting this team ready?
I think my favorite thing that Kyle Shanahan did was go for it on fourth down. I think either the first or second series, he went for it. When I was like, thank God. Yeah. I was that made me so happy to see that he went for it and went for the and we got the first down. And to me, there's just a mentality saying, I believe my team is better than yours. And just the intensity of the game saying that we want to make our mark. And so when Kyle did that, I like seeing Kyle do that. And I think his players love that, and they will support him and go out there and make sure that he doesn't look bad for trusting them guys and going out there and making that type of decision. So to me, Kyle called a really good game. It was balanced. Only knock I have on Kyle was once you had the game in hand, get your good players out. I thought that Christian McCaffrey stayed in for maybe he had 8 snaps that he didn't have to take. I thought he could have gave it to Elijah Mitchell or JP. But besides that, Kyle, you did a good job. You get an A. You get an A-.
Yeah, I was watching the game with my sons, and my 15-year-old was like, why is CMC, or he says CMC is being overused, Dad? They need to take him out. I don't want to get hurt. I'm like, hey, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's the one knock I'd have on Kyle yesterday. Maybe 2. There's 2 knocks I'd give Kyle yesterday. The first one was take CMC out, man. Once the game's in hand, we don't need him. We need him all year. We need him for week 18 in the playoffs. We don't need him at the end of the fourth quarter and week 1 when you're up by 20-some points. You don't need to do that. So pull him out, man. You got Elijah Mitchell. You got JP. It's unnecessary. So I agree with my son. I agree with what you're talking about. The other thing is the penalties, man. 11 penalties for 85 yards. That's about preparation and discipline. And they got to nip that in the bud. If they do that, man, they're going to be even more dangerous than they were yesterday, man.
For sure. I didn't think about that. Well, it went on the forefront of my mind, but I 1,000% agree with you. Sure, the penalties would probably have 45 points and a 0 burger on the board. So, for sure.
Yeah, exactly, man. All right, Twin, man, what you got going on your channel, bro?
Hey, man, listen here. I'm excited, man. Football is finally here. I'll probably do an afternoon show today. Hop on there around maybe 8 o'clock Central Time. Then after that, on Wednesday, I do a pick'em show with me and my bro called the Bearded Bro Podcast. You can check us out. Come follow me at Twin Empire down there. That's my handle. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like. We'll also be running some promos too for Prize Pick as well. So we're gonna try to do, you know what I'm saying, trying to do a little something, you know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all come tune in, holler at your boy, your favorite bearded brother, from a different mother, man. Y'all gotta come holler at your boy, you know what I'm saying? So we can keep on doing what we're doing.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys are liked and subscribed to Twin. Hey, and everyone that's on my show, their link is in the description. Just go on the details in the description and click the link and hit subscribe for Twin for me. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat as well as Twin, man. Great show. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go jump on Grant's channel at 2 p.m. so you can tune in for me there. And then I'll be back tomorrow at some point in the morning, usually with Jesse Naylor, followed by the call-in show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you guys so much. You've been great. Y'all have a blessed day. Go Niners, and I'll talk to you guys soon.